off to the
we fucked it up
races.
already. Better luck next year.
Oh god. We already
All
start off
right,
a bad
I'll see you
spot.
guys next year.
Yeah. Yeah, it just ain't working out. We gotta reboot it already.
And this is our fucking first episode.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
time for
Anyway,
reboot. Sorry, guys.
yeah. Well, hi everybody. Welcome to High Aspirations, where the aspirations are high and so are we, except for Shelby.
Shut up.
See, I thought of an intro.
That's a terrible
That's a
intro.
good intro.
That's terrible.
I love it.
I
No,
thought it was great.
I think it's a fantastic bit that Shelby's
No.
like the only sober one here.
That's so true, though.
Yeah, we really did fuck it up already. But 2024.
2024 will be my year.
Yeah.
It's good. It's gotta be. It'll be my year or my last year. I mean, listen.
I mean, this is the year Endgame happens, so.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyways, boys, continue.
Okay, so this is the first episode of our podcast, High Aspirations. I'm Blaze. The other one's Jack, and
Ooh.
of course it's Shelby.
Hi.
Yeah, Jack is everyone's favorite e-girl.
Oh yeah, he definitely
Hey.
is. He's my favorite.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, and yeah, Jack, you go ahead. You have something in mind about what to say more than I do, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should probably just start with, obviously we did introductions, but just a brief overview of what people can expect from the podcast. And what, just a general overview of what people can expect from the podcast and where they can find the podcast, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, we are on YouTube, High Aspirations. You won't be able to look us up yet, because we don't have any videos yet.
Yep.
But we are there.
Until we
getting under all
upload this
the-
one.
Aha!
Yeah.
So by the time they're seeing this, it does
Ignore
exist.
all the
So-
Muslim podcasts that are also called High Aspirations. Go to ours.
Yeah, don't watch Markiplier's podcast. Watch this one.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
watch Trash
honestly,
Taste.
We're a lot better
So
already.
we'll fight Connor.
We'll
Yeah.
fight Sea Dog
So-
VA.
I will. Where's he at? Square up.
I mean, next big YouTube event. You go. So, anyways, we're on YouTube, and our whole spiel for this podcast, we basically just talk about whatever. Of course, we have a set topic in mind. We're gonna have one, ready every week, probably. Depends. We're all really busy, but that's basically our whole thing. We talk about whatever, but we try and keep it a little contained and organized somewhat, but it's all for fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah. So, anyways, today we had something in mind, but because of the GOAT, James Gunn, coming out with the whole DC slate, we decided we wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Who?
Exciting
Yeah.
stuff.
James,
Who?
I don't know who the fuck we're talking about.
We're talking about Daddy James.
Daddy who?
Yeah, he's the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. There you
Oh.
go.
I haven't
Sorry,
seen.
we didn't-
Did a third one come out or something?
it's coming out
Yeah, it's
on
going to
May.
though.
I think I've seen the first two. I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah, I
would
have.
hope-
I went and
'cause-
saw the second one with you guys, didn't I?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think so.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while, to be fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a minute.
I genuinely don't remember anything.
I remember
That's
that Star-Lord's dad is practically God. That's all I remember.
He is a god. That is true.
Small G, Shelby. Small G.
Ah,
Small G. Yeah.
small G.
Of
Small
course.
G.
Well, let's not get too hung up on it. Just small G.
Chris Pratt is Mario, and then he's Star-Lord, and Star-Lord has probably millions of siblings.
Yeah.
They're all dead, but
That was a bit
except
of
for
a
one.
slide.
They're gone.
You know, small details.
It's the little things that matter.
Aww.
And
Yeah.
So, alright. So let's go ahead and get started on it. Jack, I think you wanted to start things up and talk about it, so the floor is yours, my dude.
Thank you. Yeah, so, you know, as Blaze mentioned, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy films and the Suicide Squad, has been appointed as the new head of DC Studios, and has come out with a slate of movies. This has been a highly anticipated slate that we've been waiting for a while. This will be the first time we've gotten an actual slate from DC since I think like 2016. That was back when Snyder was still around, so it's been a while. I personally been really looking forward to this. I myself am a pretty big DC fan. Been reading the comics for a couple years now. And Blaze, I know you're also a DC fan, a bit more casual than I am. But and Shelby, I know you are almost certainly familiar with DC heroes, but I don't know what your background is when it comes to DC Comics. Have you read any comics or seen any of the movies?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really read the comics, but I do watch the movies. So like I'm more preferably for like Batman movies and who is it? Oh my god. My brain is like dying. Never mind, I don't remember what the other one was. But yeah, it's mainly Batman, honestly. When Batman came out, the newest one, like I was hyped, so
Peak fiction. Yeah.
peak cinema.
But yeah, well this would be cool because that way we can kind of have three different perspectives here. We got like me who's more of the DC Comics fan, and Blaze is more the casual fan, and Shelby can be a stand-in for like the general audience that are going to be seeing these films, many of which who haven't read the comics and have probably only seen stuff like the Batman or Man of Steel and stuff like that. So that'll be cool. But yeah, so anyways, as I mentioned, we got a whole slate of movies here that are coming out. And so I thought what we might do is we can work our way through this slate and give our thoughts on all the various different things that are going to be coming out, what our expectations are, any questions we might have, because I've got a couple of questions on some of these things, and then just kind of go from there. So sounds good to me. How about you guys?
I'm cool with that.
Terrible. Hey, you.
Bet. Fantastic. Good, because I'm glad, because that's what we're gonna do.
Can you explain that all over again? I didn't listen.
Okay. Well, no, we're not doing that. You'll find out on the way. So Shelby's gone.
We'll get it next time, boys.
See,
all
like
right.
you said, I'm the general audience. All I want to see is pretty picture. That's it.
That's true.
And
Well, we
Plot
didn't prepare
out the
a
window.
slideshow, but we
Story
really
out the window. Characters out the window.
I only watch it for the plot.
I watch it for The Rock's ass. That's what I watch it for.
As
The
one
Man in
does.
Black.
Black Adam.
Get blacked.
Literally the entire time when we watched Black Adam, I was like just simping so hardcore. Just the entire
Well,
time.
spoilers. There will be no rock booty in this.
What? Wait, whoa. Really?
Yeah.
What was the
sorry
point?
to tell you, Shelby.
Are you?
So
What?
the Rock has left the building.
Bro, what? But they like hyped up the end of the movie to where like they're gonna fight each other. Like spoiler, sorry.
Well,
Superman and like Black Adam. Like that makes no sense.
well, Dwayne rocked his Johnson a little too hard, so he's gone.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He's
So,
The Rock.
yeah.
He has no emotions.
Yeah.
No emotions whatsoever. Yeah, so a lot of changes going on at DC lately. I guess a little background before we get into this. The history of the DCU has been one of strife, change, and absolute chaos. It has been defined by its inconsistency from the very beginning. We started off in 2013 with Man of Steel, being directed by Zack Snyder, which I personally really liked, and that was followed by Batman vs Superman and Wonder Woman and the Suicide Squad, and of course the 2017 Justice League film, and then of course Snyder parted ways with the DC universe, and we haven't really seen Henry Cavill or a lot of those characters back in a while, and so Black Adam was the first time we actually saw Henry Cavill back as Superman. Since what was it? Was it 2017? Yeah. Oh my gosh, crazy. And we were all happy. I was hyped for it. I don't know what you guys were. I was really hyped for it. And so, there was a lot of controversy surrounding this slate because it was announced that Henry Cavill would be returning to play Superman after coming back. Anyway. It's just there was a lot of controversy surrounding this because, a lot of people had wanted Henry Cavill to come back as Superman for quite some time. Myself included. I liked Man of Steel. I know a lot of people didn't. I thought it was a pretty solid movie. And I have my mixed feelings on the Snyderverse, but I really liked Henry Cavill as Superman. And so I was excited to see him back. I have some spicy takes on Black Adam, as a lot of us know. But I was really happy to see him back. And he was back. He announced it, and they were gonna make a Man of Steel 2. It was in pre-production. It was gonna be a thing. And then James Gunn was hired on with Peter Safran to be the new head of DC Studios, and unfortunately, that didn't pan out. So that's unfortunate, and a lot of people are upset by that. But I'm still excited to see what the future of the DC universe holds. So. But yeah.
Shit's fucked up.
It's fucked up. But that is the past. And today we're here to talk about the future. And so again, I guess we can just start with the first thing on the list. James Gunn gave a presentation, when was it? Last Wednesday, I think it was. It was last Wednesday. Where he announced his slate for the new chapter of DCU. He's titled the DCU Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And so, I know, Gods and Monsters.
Gods and Monsters?
Monsters.
Why not butter toast?
I'm glad you're excited.
I'm not.
That's good.
I feel bad, but it just sounds too similar to other things I've heard. Not that. Yeah. I'm not trying to be that person. It's that's not creative enough. But yeah, it's not creative enough.
It is a very Zack Snyder sounding title, isn't it? Which is kind of weird. Gods and Monsters. I don't know. It's interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. It kind of sounds like one of the chapter names from the Sonic comics. I don't know why, but it just sounds like it.
Whoa!
Sonic is in the DCU.
Hey, Sonic, want to kill God?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. We can go and get started and dive in on this. So. The first couple of entries on this list are movies that actually were planned, they're already announced before James Gunn took over as the DCU. And so a lot of this is stuff that already is planned to get out that will kind of lead into his new slate. So first up on the list, we've got Shazam: Fury of the Gods coming out March 17th. Of course, this is been a pretty anticipated movie that's been coming out for a while. I'm excited for this personally. I've seen the trailers and I think it looks cool. I know some people said it looks mid, but I think it looks pretty cool personally.
I haven't seen any of the Shazam movies.
Yeah, I think the first one was pretty good. I remember seeing it, and I thought it was a fun superhero movie. I thought it was a fun, nice coming of age movie. I like the characters. I really liked the outfit. I thought it was one of the best costumes we had gotten in the DCU up to that point. Zachary Levi, I think, plays a really good Shazam. So I'm looking forward to the movie. Blaze, you saw the first movie, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. You really liked it as well. So we got Shazam. That's coming up. Next up on the list, we've got Flash coming out in June 16th. Oh my gosh, oh boy, this movie, man, like, movie has been in production hell since like 2016.
Like,
probably before that even. It's undergone so many revisions, so many changes, and of course, as recently, it's been just immersed in controversy due to its main star, Ezra Miller. They've been going through it.
I was gonna ask.
Going through it, really.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if they're still gonna like have him play as Flash or not.
The door is open.
The door is open. So
despite everything.
Yeah. So according to James Gunn, James Gunn has said that Ezra is completely committed to their recovery, and we are fully supportive of that journey that they are on right now. When the time is right, when they are ready to have that conversation, we will figure it out with what the best path forward is. So it seems as if, based on that, Ezra is still maybe sticking around to play the Flash. I don't know how much details we want to get into with all the controversy they've been wrapped up in, but they pleaded guilty in a criminal trial recently, and so it's been going crazy. But I've heard that Ezra is, committed to recovery, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but The Flash apparently is going to be a really important film. James Gunn apparently says that this is one of the best superhero movies ever made. So the studio has a lot of faith in it. They have a lot of faith in it. And based on what we got here, what we're told, apparently The Flash is going to be the movie that resets everything. And so I don't exactly know what that means, but what I assume it means is that The Flash is going to be the one that kind of resets all of this. And it kind of gets into a question of, like, is this a reboot or not? And as we go through this list, I think that question will come up again. But even before this came out, the impression that many of us got from James Gunn was that this is going to be a full reboot. That the DCEU as it's existed since 2013 with Man of Steel will cease to exist, and this new DCU will come into existence, a brand new universe with brand new characters. Many characters will be recast. But it seems like with The Flash is going to be that reboot point. It's going to be the point where the new universe shifts. And I guess that makes sense because it's based off of the Flashpoint storyline. And of course, for those that are aware of the Flashpoint storyline is a storyline that came out in 2011. It was a comic book storyline in which Barry Allen, aka the Flash, decides to travel back in time and save his mother, who unfortunately died when he was a child, which sends the timeline into absolute chaos. leading to an alternate reality being created in which the Justice League is torn apart by a civil war between the Amazons and the Atlanteans. Batman has been replaced by his father. His mom became the Joker. Very crazy. Very wild stuff. And it was a fun comic book. It inspired a movie that came out a few years later. It was really good, and this movie will, from what we can tell, be an adaptation of that, featuring the return of characters like Michael Keaton's Batman and Sasha Calle's Supergirl, various multiversal variants that will be joining Ezra Miller on this journey through the multiverse. So yeah, what are our feelings on the Flash?
Huh.
It was me, Barry. I was the one to make you bust a nut.
What the heck?
What the fuck?
It was me, Barry.
I thought I was
All
the
this
gremlin.
time.
Like, damn.
No, Blaze is sometimes a gremlin.
It makes sense.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie with you. I don't really, like, read the comics for even Flash or really, like, watched any of the movies. I think the only movie I've seen, which was, like, wasn't there one, like, in the early 2000s or something?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Well, there was a television show that came out in the 90s called The Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the TV show, but I've seen, like, there was, like, a movie I watched a long time ago that was The Flash or something like that. And I don't even remember it, so... 2000 was so
I get it.
long
Yeah,
ago.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That peak fiction at its finest.
My mindset, it's like a lot of the movies like that, I forget, like I think around that same time like Monsters vs. Aliens came out. I don't remember what the hell happened in that movie. All I remember is that there's a like ugly ass monsters and then there's this giant fucking white chick. That's all I knew or remember.
I remember that. Yes. Yes. How can I forget?
Giant.
I remember going McDonald's and they had them like as the Happy Meal toys, and all I would get is the tall giant lady, and it was driving me crazy. Like I fucking hated it. I wanted like the different ones, but I don't know what. I don't know if McDonald's was just like purposely trying to ruin my childhood, but I hated that toy. I had probably like 5 of them in my toy box at home like years ago, and I would just chuck it at the wall. So
Jesus, Shelby.
it was so bad. Like McDonald's was after me. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
McDonald's didn't forget.
They seem pretty chill with you now.
Thank goodness. But yeah, I'm personally I'm excited for this. I've been a fan of the Flash since the CW TV show came out. It came out in 2014, I think. I only started watching it in like 2019 when my mom and I started binge watching the entire Arrowverse on the CW. But you know, I'm a big fan of the Flash. I'm a big fan of the Flashpoint storyline, and so I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I am interested in the fact that this movie includes the multiverse, and we'll be bringing in characters from other movies and television shows that we've seen that were previously disconnected, like Michael Keaton's Batman movies. I think that's really cool, and especially if this movie is going to be the thing that ends up actually rebooting the multiverse and the whole storyline, the whole universe. I'm really interested in seeing how that goes. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Ezra can get the help that they need. But yeah, James Gunn seems confident, and who am I to doubt Daddy Gunn? You know.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Who am I?
I'm pretty high.
Yeah. So, and then the next one on our list, coming out on August 18th, is going to be Blue Beetle. I am very excited for this film. Blue Beetle.
Wait. I have one question. I got one question.
I love questions, Shelby. Hit me.
is the beetle actually blue?
Oh fuck.
Yes, the beetle is actually blue. One
Shit.
second. Mom, the cats are fighting. We wake them up.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, my cats were fighting. And anyways, yeah.
Mom, I'm doing my
Sleep is just a menace.
podcast.
Yeah, he was just not having any podcast today.
Let me get soup.
Yeah. So
Yep.
He's. Yeah. So Blue Beetle is a character that I've been a fan of for quite some time. And it's gonna the synopsis is it's a story of a young teenager who gains superpowers when an alien device known as the Blue Scarab grafts onto him and basically gives them like this really cool exoskeleton, almost like Iron Man like outfit. And he is going to return to his town, and I believe it's in Puerto Rico. Will be set actually, and he is going to try to use his newfound powers and abilities to help his community and kind of become a very street level hero. So kind of like it's very Spider-Man, kind of Miss Marvel coming of age type superhero story, which I personally love. I love those type of stories. Blaze, I don't know how familiar you are with Blue Beetle, the character or not, but I remember watching him in the Young Justice television show and playing him in Injustice and really liking him. But yeah, I'm excited about this film. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him. I mostly watched him in like, I think Batman: Brave and the Bold, and then Justice
Mm-hmm.
League. Like, he wasn't in it a whole lot, but I was like, this guy, I like this guy. I hope he gets a movie someday. And well, what do you know? 10 years later.
What do you know? Here we are. We did it, boys.
Damn.
I know almost nothing about him, but he seems nice.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So what do you think? How does a Blue Beetle sound to you as a general audience member?
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beta. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Blue Beta.
Blue Beta. Blue Giga
Blue
Chad?
Beta. Blue Giga
I'm
Chad.
blue, gotta be
Sigma
a
Blue
die?
Beetle.
Yeah, and then the next movie is Sigma Man
No!
after Blue Beta.
No, I fucking
No.
ate!
James Gunn canceled again.
Is Jim Carrey playing that character?
Smoking. Don't let me do that ever again.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Shelby, for that wonderful commentary on Blue Beetle.
That's what we have you.
Yeah, I just draw and watch anime. That's all I do. And be
That's fair,
Gremlin!
you know.
Yeah.
They should make a Blue Beetle anime. That'd go hard.
Honestly, I mean, there are, like, Marvel anime, actually, for, like, kids.
Yeah.
I don't know for DC,
Yeah,
but I know they have for Marvel, where, like, the kids transform. Like, it's really cool. Like, it's, like, kind of similar to Power Rangers, but with the Avengers. And, like, they transform into that hero. So, like, there's one for Tony Stark and, like, the other characters. I really loved how they actually added Deadpool in the show. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought
yeah.
that was interesting. I was like, that's so cool.
I really like the animations in that show too. I haven't actually watched all of it, but I've seen clips on YouTube, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. All I was gonna say was like I've seen clips also like on YouTube and like TikTok and stuff. It'd be like recommended to me because sometimes I'll like videos that like show little clips from TV shows or something.
Yeah. I definitely will have to watch that sometime. But Blue Beetle looks really good. I'm really excited to see how this cast comes together. I think it'll be nice to have I guess a kind of like a Spider-Man-esque character in the DC universe. Just kind of this young street level character. Hello, welcome back, everybody.
Yep.
So,
Alright, we back. We had a bit of a recording issue.
so we can consider this the actual DC reboot. Because I forgot
Yeah.
everything.
I'll
This
let you
is the
guys know
actual
if it
DC
stops
reboot.
recording again.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
So,
Back on track. We saved it, guys.
Yeah,
So-
we did it!
We did it! Yay!
Mommy
Play
Cena.
the theme song.
I
We
did it.
Blaze. There's no I in team, Blaze.
There is now TEIAM.
Huh.
Damn.
Yeah.
No.
I wondered what happened when you were in high school.
Yeah.
This
I was.
is an intervention.
I'm
well,
shocked. Okay, now we're back.
totally-
And we're back.
Again!
Hey, what's up, people? We're back. Somehow, we made our way back.
Yeah. I think it was Ezra Miller. At it again.
It was me, baby.
Oh God.
I blame the creators of The Sims. They deserve it.
Man.
It was Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's what happens what they did to Bella Goth. How dare they?
Yeah, I know.
You don't even know The Sims lore. Don't even.
No, I know everything. All right.
No, you fucking don't.
You know how wrinkly my brain is.
Yeah, it makes sense. Nothing can go through them. Because it's
I will
wrinkly.
fucking eat you.
Oh my.
Oh, you want to? I'm literally right over here. I can literally walk to your
shit.
room right now. I'm gonna do it. Right now.
All right. Okay. I'll make sure Jack's a witness.
All right. Well, listen, listeners. You're about to witness a murder.
I have a sword, motherfucker.
Okay, I'm back.
Anyway, that's what I was saying. I just think
give me a second.
furries are kind of. Oh yeah, welcome back, guys.
Shelby makes me very upset.
Kicked his ass in 2 seconds.
Nice,
Uh-huh.
nice. That was good. I think we needed that, especially Blaze. But all of us needed that.
Yeah, I was there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
I was there, and you were there. She was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And his mama was there.
You motherfucker. You know what?
I think I should just leave the Discord call.
Blaze just can't escape it.
But continue, Jack.
Anyway, yeah. Well, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the Blue Beetle, and then there was another movie, which
Oh yes,
I'm
the Blue Beetle. Okay, so the next movie was gonna be Aquaman, the Lost Kingdom.
Aww.
The fish. It's the fish dude, guys.
Not Aquaman.
Jason Momoa is back. He's back as Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman. He's coming.
so am I.
And so am I.
Ah!
This movie is coming out on December 25th, Christmas.
Wow.
Crazy.
Merry Christmas to me.
Mom, can we please go see Mermaid Man on TV on Christmas?
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. The sequel we never knew we needed.
But Mom, that's SpongeBob. I don't care. We're on a budget.
But yeah, Aquaman. I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, I saw the first movie, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a very solid introduction to the DC universe. I think it was the first DC movie to crack $1 billion too.
Yeah.
So that's wild. And of course, you know I love Jason Momoa, so I'm pretty excited about this. There's been a lot of rumors and buzz that Jason Momoa might be actually playing Lobo in the DCU going forward. So we don't know if this might be the last Aquaman movie. We really don't know. But I know Jason Momoa said he always imagined it as a trilogy. So this could be the final movie, or it could not be. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Either way, I'm excited about this. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I'm
chill.
personally hoping it's a trilogy.
Uh-huh.
I love Jason
too.
Momoa.
I do love Jason.
Yeah.
How about you, Shelby? Are you a Jason Momoa fan, or you loyal to The Rock?
Similar to other movies, I have not watched that movie. My mom has the hots for him, and that's why I won't watch it.
You know, that's
Oh.
understandable.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's very understandable.
I literally one day my mom came up to me like a couple years ago when it came out, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I went to go see that movie, and it like he was so hot," and I was like, "Don't say that to me. That's disgusting.
please.
My mother being attracted to actors? How dare she?
Yeah.
How dare she have a normal human reaction?
What the heck, mother?
Disgusting.
I'm the simp in this household.
No, you ain't."
I'm talking about like my family's household.
Oh.
I already know who's the simp of this household.
That's true.
Jesus Christ.
Poor Abraham. He's just like, oh,
Dallas.
I'm with this. I showed him like
Oh my
a
God.
TikTok of Leon Kennedy, and it was like a TikTok where you like swipe to the right, and it's like a little slideshow thing, and it's like a drive-through, and it's this lady. She's like, "Hi, sir, your total is," and it's like Leon Kennedy in the car from Resident Evil 4, and she's like, "Leon Kennedy," and he's like, "Hey," and then she just jumps in the car.
Oh my god.
I'm
Oh my
like,
God.
sorry if Leon Kennedy was real. I'm sorry.
I mean,
It
that's
had to be
fair.
done, you know? It had to be done.
I'm sorry.
I'm not
sorry. I
sorry.
quit.
If the world was ending, I would want to be with that guy. So,
That's fair.
Okay. Well, and with that, that brings us to the first official new movie that will be coming out in the DCEU. The first official new installment coming from the mind of Daddy James Gunn, of course.
Daddy.
Papa John.
Daddy James Gunn. Papa John.
Papa James.
So yeah, that would be Creature Commandos, based on a team of heroes that debuted in the 1980s Weird War Tales. Creature Commandos will be a 7-episode animated series written by James Gunn. The team was initially a group of classic monsters founded to fight the Nazis. Gunn states the project will be a modern update of the concept. And apparently the full lineup brings back some fan favorites from James Gunn's Suicide Squad, including Rick Flag's father, Rick Flag Sr., and Weasel. Yes, Weasel is coming
God
back.
damn it.
He's back. Crazy. He's back. So yeah, this is the first official installment of James Gunn's new post-Flashpoint DC timeline. So, what do we think?
Yeah, I don't know anything about these guys either, but I don't know if they're considered obscure, but I just like nowadays I just really like when they introduce like obscure characters or lesser known characters into like movies and shows, because it's like diversifies everything, and it shows that you don't need to have a big name to be interesting.
I mean, like not Suicide. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy were a very obscure group of characters.
Yeah.
No one in the mainstream knew about them, let alone comic book readers. You know, they were very obscure characters that James Gunn took and made them household names across the world. Billion-dollar franchise. So I think and the same thing with the Suicide Squad. James Gunn has a really good track record of taking obscure kind of B tier, C tier characters, and doing something interesting with them. So, I think it's cool that it's animated too. I think that's really cool. I think it's awesome that we're getting more animated material. So, yeah, I'm excited for this, definitely.
Bro, same. Love me some animated
All right,
stuff.
Shelby, a general audience member here, what is your first impression of this animated show?
Pancakes.
It's very. I get it.
Light,
You know,
fluffy,
I vibe.
tasteful. I think it's gonna be a hit.
You heard it here first, guys. Shelby makes the prediction. It's gonna be a hit, and
But,
if it's not, you can blame her.
But could you repeat everything you just said? I'm kidding.
No.
That would be so mean.
All right, so starting at the beginning. It all started in 2013.
Wow.
What a year.
For real though.
In 1998,
we
these
took-
3 babies come along, meet each other in the years later, and make a podcast.
That's true. Although Blaze was born in 1997, wasn't it, Blaze?
No,
What
it's
year
not.
were you born?
All 3 of us were born 98.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I know.
We're old as shit.
See, I get the confusion though because I was a year ahead of you, so I keep getting confused thinking I'm older than you, Jack. But then it's like, no.
Yeah, you act more mature.
Yeah, I am very more mature.
That's
I
true.
know my
You are.
doodads.
I know my
vocabulary.
ABDs, so.
Yeah. I have a very high intelligence.
You do.
I am very
Well,
wise.
speaking of high intelligence, the next installment on our list is gonna be Waller, but based on the character Amanda Waller. Viola Davis will reprise her role as the shadowy government official Amanda Waller, this time in her own HBO Max series, spinning off of James Gunn's Peacemaker. This will be helmed by Crystal Henry and James Carver of the Doom Patrol series, a show that I really love, and will feature Waller teaming up with the various members of Team Peacemaker for a mission that's out of this world, apparently. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I love Viola Davis. I love her character of Amanda Waller. I think it's great that she's coming back. It once again raises questions about whether or not this is a full reboot or not, and whether or not this is set in the same universe as she is someone brought over from the DCEU. But I'm glad she's here. And yeah, if it's anything like Peacemaker, I think I would definitely enjoy it.
Oh yeah. Like, I love Peacemaker. I recommend it, Shelby.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't really watched a lot of these at all. I know some are like new movies that haven't obviously came out yet, but a lot of these I don't really know.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, I don't really know if you would need to watch Peacemaker. I feel like this is probably going to be a pretty self-contained story. But I'm very excited for this. I think, again, I like Peacemaker. I love Peacemaker. I love the Doom Patrol. Probably one of the best, if not the best, DC television shows that's come out in the last decade. Doom Patrol is. It's really good. It's on HBO Max, and I'm very excited. So if you haven't seen Doom Patrol, I recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to go check that out. It's really good. And yeah, so it's definitely in good hands. The show is. But, yeah. And then next up on our list. Yeah. This is the big one. The big one that everyone's been waiting for. the new Superman reboot. This will officially really kick off the DCU into full gear. Gunn calls this his upcoming Man of Steel film, Superman Legacy, the true beginning of the DCU, stressing that while thankfully it won't be a true blue origin story, it will explore the younger days of the character. Superman Legacy will see Kal-El, aka Clark Kent, aka Superman, balance his Kryptonian roots with his human childhood. Gunn said that this version of Superman will be the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks that kindness is old-fashioned. So yeah, and then apparently we actually have a release date for this. This will come out July 11th, 2025. So yes, I'm very excited for this. Superman. This is definitely one of the big things that people have been looking forward to. And ever since it was announced that Henry Cavill will not be coming back as Superman, I know a lot of people were disappointed about that. I myself was disappointed as well, but this makes sense as that they're telling a younger Superman, a Superman in his early years as a reporter at the Daily Planet. So it makes sense that they would bring in a younger actor to play Superman as opposed to Henry Cavill. But yeah, what do we think? I'm pretty excited about this myself.
Well, I'm fucking ready for Superman. I'm like, it's bullshit what they did to Cavill, but I was like, new Superman movie, I'm here for it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also really hyped for the. Oh, sorry, Shelby.
Superman goes swoosh.
He does. He do be doing that.
He did. But yeah, I'm still hyped for the animated show they're planning.
Yeah. I forgot they were coming out with an animated show. Is it like a Superman show or?
It's Superman. It's gonna. I forgot what it was called, but they got like brand new designs for Clark and Lois, and I think his name was Jimmy, the photography guy.
I do remember that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say Jimin from BTS?
No! No! No!
Smooth like butter.
Yes, it's true.
Oh god!
You gotta summon Annie. Stop.
She's like, I hate BTS.
Hello.
Hey guys.
He's like,
Back from Taiwan.
what?
You're back already?
I've been seeing less cats around lately, so could be bad.
She could be back.
Annie watches this, she's
I'm
just like,
like,
what the fuck?
You know.
Yeah.
I do miss her.
When Annie returns to Pittsburgh, it's gonna be like a scene from Dragon Ball Z. All the cats in the town are gonna like freeze and like into her energy, and they're gonna be like, "Oh no, she's back."
She's coming.
And so am I.
Oh god.
I miss Annie.
Them come.
Yes.
I miss Sugar Rush Annie.
Yeah.
When she's practically high on sugar, and then she's
Sugar
like,
Rush
yeah, she's like kind of like that for like 30 minutes, and then she has a sugar crash.
Yeah. Oh,
That's all Annie.
yeah.
But yeah,
Dude,
Superman though. Yeah, I'm really excited for Superman.
Too.
Forgot about Superman.
I thought we were talking about
versus
Batman.
Annie. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Superman. I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Buzz.
Okay, I was gonna say like, I don't really care who they cast as him because right now I have nothing specific in mind. But if they find the right guy, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Apparently the character itself might be as young as 25, so like they says like mid to late 20s. So I suspect they will be casting someone who is around that age range. So I'm not entirely sure who they're gonna get, but I'm really gonna enjoy this. I think Superman is linchpin of the DC universe. So if you're gonna have a DC universe, I think you gotta have a Superman. I think you just do. And this would be a big one. So I would definitely be looking forward to this.
Yes,
But
big
yeah,
dub, big dub.
Superman. Big dub. Shelby, what do you think?
Superman.
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have like much opinion because like I can't really say.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Fair.
maybe if this Superman is a
yeah.
fat ass, you'll be interested.
Chainsaw Man season 2's out tonight.
Whoa!
What?
Yowza. Damn.
He's no Superman, but he tries his best.
He tries, that's for sure.
Anything for the titty.
Oh, that's my motto.
I admire that of him. He's just like, no, I'm just in it for the tits.
Good job, Denji.
He's a man who knows what he wants. You know?
Yeah, he really does.
And then after he gets it, it's like, was it worth it? Fuck yeah, it was!
Same, Denji, same.
Huh.
So, anyway,
man.
Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
Batman, Brave and the Bold. Yes. Really looking forward to this. Certainly, this will be based on a comic book by Grant Morrison by the same name. And so, yeah, Batman, Brave and the Bold. We're looking forward to this new Batman film. Always good for that. And this will involve Batman and his son Damian Wayne, James Gunn's favorite Robin, by the way, teaming up to take on a mystery. So, yeah, what are our thoughts on this? Because you seem excited about this.
Batman. Of course I'm hyped. It's a new Batman movie. And it's got Robin.
It feels like we haven't had a Robin in a movie in ages.
Wait. So is Edward Cullen in this movie, or is it a different person?
It's a different one.
Oh.
We know. Yeah. So, but the Batman is going to continue. That one with the Edward Cullen Batman will continue on. That leaves Batman. James Gunn mentioned in his presentation that one of the big things he's introducing into this new DC universe is the concept of Elseworlds. And in the comic books, Elseworlds storylines were basically storylines that took place outside of the main continuity. And so whenever we get like a movie like Matt Reeves' The Batman or The Joker or Teen Titans Go, right?
No.
All of that is going to be Elseworlds. It'll be set outside the main DC continuity, the main DC universe, but it will be official. So the Batman will continue on, which is cool. We know we're getting a Penguin series spin-off from that.
Oh, fuck
starring Colin Farrell. So that's going to be great. That's going to be awesome. I'm very excited to hear that universe is continuing on and it will be continue to be built out. But two Batman. We're getting two Batmans, which is crazy to me.
Bro. Like, James Gunn is cooking with the whole kitchen. Spices and all.
Is he cooking with a gun, or...?
No.
He's cooking everything.
Because James...
He's cooking.
You guys keep saying James Gunn, like, his gun is doing all of this, so...
No, Shelby, fuck.
Listen.
Man, I didn't know Gunn had such authority.
He does have authority.
God. Yeah, there's also the authority. What did you know? What are you? You know you're...
Aren't there some states that don't allow
segue.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a great segue?
Well,
yeah. The authority is, weirdly enough, is the next on the list. Shelby knew. Dang.
I fucking didn't know.
Oh no, yes you did. Run with it.
Gaslight.
Gatekeep.
Good boss. So yeah, based on these characters are actually based on characters from the Wildstorm comics, and the Authority will chart the story of a superhero group that is not afraid to assert their unique and often violent methods of protecting the planet. James Gunn called it a very different look at superheroes, as the team will battle using any means necessary. I personally am super excited about this. These again kind of go back to what we talked about earlier. This is James Gunn tapping into his roots and bringing in these obscure characters that a lot of people don't know about and bringing them to the big screen. I haven't read much of the comics. I don't know much about them, but I do know that two characters on this roster are Apollo and Midnighter, and they're kind of like Batman and Superman, but they're gay. Yeah, they're in like a gay relationship, but they're really awesome. They're really cool. And Midnighter is like Batman if he did not have any rules against killing. That's basically him. He's pretty cool, and so these are cool characters, and I'm glad that they're bringing them in to the DC universe. So yeah, the Authority. Thoughts?
All right. Question. So
bring me on.
With Apollo and Midnighter being gay, would that be foreshadowing to Superman and Batman making out?
Actually, it's Mario and Sonic making out.
I mean, that's already happened.
That's true. That.
Batman's fucking.
Get your facts straight.
All I'm saying is, this is probably the closest you're gonna get to that, Blaze.
All right, I can live with that.
It's like a fanfic come to life, you know.
Aww.
That's fine, I guess. Fanfics shouldn't come.
That's true. Some like fanfiction that should not come to life. But yeah, the other couple movies on the list we got Green Lantern, True Detective, a actual Green Lantern television show that is described as a terrestrial-based Lantern series that will focus on two of the most notable holders of that mantle, Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Gunn describes the series as a DCU's version of True Detective, with Jordan and Stewart's galactic space cops investigating a terrifying mystery that would tie into the larger DCU story. So yeah, this is really exciting. We as fans have been wanting Green Lantern content in the DC universe for so long. Snyder originally planned to introduce it in the Justice League film. Obviously, that didn't pan out. The last time we got the Green Lantern content was back in 2011, the Green Lantern movie, which was, a movie. It existed.
God.
But
Despite
yeah,
everything.
actual Green Lantern content.
Well.
Alright, dude, I'm fucking hyped because when I saw Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, I was like, fuck yeah, because I fucking love Justice League, like the animated series.
So Ryan Reynolds is gonna be in it, right?
Well, hey, hold your horses.
Hey, let's cut the feed.
Cut the cameras.
No. Maybe, you never know. He might show up.
Dude, knowing him, he'll probably just like come out for 1 second and be like, alright, I'm shooting myself now.
I know him as a kid. I think I liked that movie. I thought it was fun. I think as I've gotten older, it hasn't particularly aged well. But I think he was actually a pretty decent Hal Jordan. It was obviously he was a bit more comedic Hal Jordan, but I actually kind of liked him as Hal Jordan. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, same.
So I wouldn't hate it if he came back, but probably not.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's sticking with Deadpool for one more movie.
Yeah, Deadpool, which that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Looking forward to that. And yeah, it's pretty much the last thing on our list here. Well, actually, two more things on our list. But is going to be Paradise Lost. And this is a Wonder Woman. This is described as Wonder Woman Game of Thrones type show. It's an HBO Max series. They'll be set on Paradise Island, also known as Themyscira. It will explore the early days of Wonder Woman's home island and takes place before Diana's birth. As the Isle without men begins to establish itself, it's full of political machinations and
Oh man.
is apparently supposed to be like a Game of Thrones type story, but with Amazons. So I'm excited for this. I don't know. I was this is one of those shows that also again raises questions about continuity because apparently this takes place before the Wonder Woman films that come out. So I don't exactly know
Women.
what's going on then.
Women
But
are not
women,
you.
Women.
women, am I right?
Base and red pill.
Yeah.
I'm about to go
Paradise
Andrew
Lost.
Tate.
No,
No.
no.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh god. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for it. I'm not like it's probably not like one of the top things I'm hyped about, but it would be pretty interesting because this kind of make me question it a little bit too, the whole continuity thing. Because it's like, yeah, but we can probably talk about that later. Because
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to it. I think the big thing for me is kind of like you talked about earlier, Blaze. Is it shows that James Gunn is willing to embrace of creative diversity when it comes to this.
yeah,
I like that we're getting a diverse tone. I mean, you got things like Superman or Blue Beetle that are more kind of like your traditional superhero stories, very family friendly. But you also got something like this that I mean, if this is really a Game of Thrones type story, this could be a very mature television show that I think for adults. And so it's nice that we're getting different genres and different tones across the DC universe because not everything has to feel the same. Not everything has to be the same tone and be in the same target audience and target demographic. I think it's cool if you're allowing filmmakers and directors and showrunners to have the creative autonomy to, adapt their storylines in any way that they think is best. I think that leads to an enriching experience. So because of that, I'm looking forward to it. But of course, I have to learn more before I give any real judgments about the story. But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool.
sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the last thing on the list, last two actually, there's two more things on the list. What am I
Oh
doing?
my god.
Two more things on the list. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So this is gonna be this is something I am looking forward to. This is based on the recent Tom King miniseries of the same name. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow will be a film featuring a darker take on Supergirl. In King's story, a hardened and jaded Supergirl ends up being enlisted by a young girl to avenge the death of her father. And Gunn says this story will highlight the difference between Superman's upbringing on Earth versus Supergirl, who was raised on a rock, a chip off Krypton, who watched everyone around her die or be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life before coming to Earth. So, apparently it's going to be a bit of a darker take on Supergirl's character, and I'm a big Supergirl fan. I really liked the television show that was on the CW. Had its ups and downs, but I enjoyed it. And so I think it's cool that they're introducing her, and I've heard good things about this comic book series. Haven't read it personally myself, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, I'm so looking forward to Supergirl becoming emo girl.
I'm in love
Oh
with
no.
an emo girl.
Girl.
All I want is an emo girl.
See, I know the song.
If that's
I
not the
don't.
opening song to this movie, I don't want it.
Exactly.
Even if
Exactly.
Willow
If that's not the
Smith
trailer
plays in
music.
it.
Whoa.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'm also hyped for Supergirl. I love
Yeah,
Supergirl.
I think it'd be good. And then the last ones we got here are Booster Gold and Swamp Thing. I'm excited for both of these things.
Hell yeah.
Booster Gold is an HBO Max series that will focus on cult favorite Booster Gold. Booster Gold is he's basically he's a superhero simp from the future. He was
like
a janitor
real.
from the future who steals superhero tech and then travels to the modern day in hopes of being a hero. He's basically, as James Gunn describes it, imposter syndrome as a superhero. So he's a wacky character. And
yeah.
I'm looking forward to him. I think that's a cool story. And the other one is going to be Swamp Thing. This is I love Swamp Thing. I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. Love the TV show. This is a horror film based on the character of Swamp Thing. In the comics, the scientist Alec Holland is murdered after a bomb goes off, and he becomes the Avatar of the Green, this big swamp monster thing that has full command of nature, and he's really cool.
Green, huh?
Yeah, he loves the green, and you know what that means, Blaze.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, those are the last two things on the list: Swamp Thing and Booster Gold. How are we feeling about those things?
Fucking hyped.
The sludge
love those
monster
two.
from Scooby-Doo live-action movie.
Swamp
That's
ass.
actually very accurate. Not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like the movie where Velma turns like really hot in the second movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's that. Oh yeah.
I remember.
Wait.
I
You
really
remember.
remember.
That was a formative moment for me. But yeah, I'm excited for both these things. I think again, I like that Swamp Thing is going to be a horror film. I think it's cool that again, James Gunn is embracing the idea of there being diversity in the DC universe, having different tones, different genres, and so that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, Booster Gold. I love Booster Gold. I loved watching him in the Justice League animated cartoon. I loved watching him on Smallville, another good CW show that I watched a long time ago. He's a fun character. He's a goofy character, but he's a fun character. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. But that's the end. That is the end of our list of movies that are coming out. That's the slate. The full slate of the first chapter of the DC Universe under James Gunn. General thoughts, guys.
That's a really good question, Jack, because I don't have thoughts.
No, that's understandable, Shelby.
The only thoughts I have are from the Shrek 2 script.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I'm gonna bust a nut to every show.
Even to Blue Beetle?
Well,
No.
especially Blue Beetle.
Especially Blue Beetle.
Especially Blue. Oh God. I'm gonna wait. Oh.
Oh, don't do that. No, it's not.
Smooth. Like butter. I can't believe it's not butter.
Oh my god.
Trust me.
Trust me, it's butter.
Trust me, it is.
It's not butter.
Yeah, I guess my general thoughts would be, I think this is a solid lineup. I think we've got a good mix of kind of your big name established characters that everyone kind of knows: Batman, Superman, the Green Lanterns, Robin, stuff like that. Aquaman, obviously the Flash, but also newer characters that I think, or lesser known characters that really haven't had a chance to shine yet. You know, characters like Blue Beetle and the Authority and Booster Gold, Swamp Thing. There's a lot of characters that, even Supergirl, that haven't had a lot of time in the limelight. And so I think it's a diverse lineup. It's a unique lineup. I think it's a good first start, introduction to the universe. And I like that they're all based on, many of these stories are actually based on comic books and they're open about that. They're honest about that. Something that I read recently that a lot of the comic books that were based on the Authority and Supergirl and a couple of other ones, the Batman comic book run, they're all sold out on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like they're all gone.
Yeah.
And I think this is really cool. I think it's cool that James Gunn is using these movies to promote comic books and to help keep the comic book industry from dying. Because I really like comic books. I think it's a very interesting storytelling medium. And so I think it's cool that he is actually going out of his way to promote that. So yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for it too. I'm glad that they actually have a plan going on, and I'm also glad they're not just like doing the whole Justice League first and just like taking their time and introducing other characters, being like, "Hey, bitch, you don't know this guy, but you're about to."
You know me now.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think it's good that they're starting off with a lot of characters that are lesser known because you take a character like Superman, and he's a big character, and so if fans don't like that adaptation, they're gonna let you know, right? You're never gonna hear that down. But it feels like a lot of characters like Blue Beetle or the Authority, these are characters that don't have this at the moment, this massive following, this massive fan base. And they do have a lot of cult followings. There's a lot of people who like these shows, but I think the general audience is very unfamiliar with this. So it's good to kind of test the waters and kind of see how the general audience is leaning with these films and television shows. So, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know, like, you've been tossing the question right now of whether it's a reboot or not, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
you know what I mean? I have a wrinkly brain, so I think,
Cool.
yeah. So I think thoughts, and those thoughts are that I kind of consider it like a soft reboot. Like right
Yeah.
now, yeah, just for right now, because because I remember them saying that the door is open for like older actors like Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa, Zachary Levi to stick around and play their roles if they want to. So like for right now, I consider it just a soft reboot
Yeah.
until otherwise.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I think I definitely think one of the main things that's happening is I don't think James Gunn and Peter Safran have quite figured out what they're gonna do with a lot of the characters like the Flash and Wonder Woman and even Aquaman. They don't really know what they're doing, and so this kind of allows them, as you mentioned, to keep those characters ambiguous. The fate of those characters ambiguous, and so they can bring back characters like Amanda Waller or the Peacemaker crew if they want to, or they can just keep, or they can recast, like in the case of Batman and Superman. And I think using the Flashpoint movie, as a way of resetting the timeline and being like, okay, well, Shazam, for example, this is a movie that very clearly had ties to like Man of Steel, BVS, but that was the old timeline. We're done with that now. Now Shazam 2 will or Shazam 3, assuming we get a Shazam 3. That takes place in this new timeline. And that way, you could keep Zachary Levi. You could keep those characters around. You don't have to recast them, and you can kind of what you want, what you don't want to keep what you do want to keep. So, yeah, I definitely think it's a. Oh, I don't think James Gunn's presentation was super clear on what the continuity of the DCU is going to look like. But I agree. I think it's a semi-soft reboot slash. We don't know exactly what this is yet, but we're gonna get out.
Oh yeah. Just you know, follow the water,
Water.
go with the flow.
The flow.
I'm thirsty.
Dusty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta stay hydrated.
No.
That was
My aspirations way.
high aspirations away. Yeah, and I do also want to say, like, I think something I think makes James Gunn uniquely qualified to be the head of the DC universe is that he has experience being both an actual filmmaker and a director, and a writer. So you look at someone like Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige, of course, has plenty of experience in the movie industry, working on movies, writing on movies. But I think Kevin Feige is someone who's he's really good at being this kind of management role. This kind of guy who like organizes this whole universe. But James Gunn, as someone who has worked as a director and a writer, both for Marvel and DC, he has that brings with him, I think, a unique perspective, and a perspective that will lead him to put storytelling and filmmaker autonomy first, above all else. I think giving the filmmakers the creative freedom that they need to adapt their storylines in the way that they view best. I think, and putting good storytelling and good writing at the forefront of these projects. I think that is something that makes him uniquely qualified. And again, he worked at Marvel, he worked at DC. He knows the strengths, the weaknesses of both companies, and I think that will lead him to kind of avoid a lot of the mistakes. And I think the previous DC administration and Marvel have made, while at the same time being able to replicate that success that companies like Marvel have had. And so, yeah, I definitely think James Gunn was a good pick for this role.
Oh, yeah. Love me some creative freedom. Very based.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like, I think a good criticism of the MCU has been that they're fun movies, but I think sometimes it can feel very samey. Like things start to feel the same. There's definitely a Marvel formula, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but that Marvel formula I think can get stale if you are kind of constricting all of your creative storytelling to one particular model. So I think James Gunn has hopefully learned from that experience, and I think has been like, yeah, not everything has to be the same. Not everything has to be the same tone. We can have different genres and different movies and television shows for different audiences. Because I think honestly, the MCU in Phase 4 was at its best when it did branch out. We got things like Werewolf by Night and She-Hulk and Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. These were great. Even Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They were great because Marvel allowed the writers and the directors to have the freedom to expand and experiment and branch out from the standard Marvel formula. And it worked to their advantage. It really did. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I like because I always get excited when someone says like that a superhero movie is gonna be in like a different genre or something. I'm like, fuck yeah, love it. And
Yeah.
Because because I also kind of like that with like, even though Multiverse of Madness still wasn't all that different, I did like the little aspects of horror it had at least. And I'm a big wuss, so all the jump scares got me. So anything's horror for me.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. Like I definitely agree. And I think like when we live in an era like we do now, where the movie landscape is oversaturated with superhero stories,
yeah,
having uh, a diversity of superhero films can I think kind of help with superhero fatigue, comic book movie fatigue. Um, you get a movie like The Batman, which is totally and directorially very different than say the Suicide Squad or Peacemaker.
yeah,
Um, and I think that, or even like Ant-Man, Quantumania, right? And you're like that gives a vibe that you're not just seeing the same movie over and over again. This actually feels new and creative and innovative.
mhm,
So that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing.
yeah. I like that we're steering in that direction now because we're at that point with the popular genre of the current generation is starting to diversify. Because I don't know if that's exactly what happened with like westerns, but I know westerns used to be like super popular and then kind of like superhero movies. So I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't remember if it's like a repeat, but I like to think of it that way.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, because I love seeing diverse stuff in media now. Because I'm trying to get myself to watch different shit. Because I just go, man, I just want to see explosions for 2 hours. But then I'm like, no, no, no. I gotta watch society crumble.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, like it can be nice to have you know just a fun, entertaining superhero film to just turn your brain off for 2 hours sometimes, right? Um, but I think the strength of cinema is that it is such a flexible art form, and you can tell so many different stories, enriching stories, and the actual entertainment and enjoyment is one thing, but actual being able to actually appreciate like, oh wow, that's really cool, that's really innovative, right? That's an interesting narrative choice that they made. Like that's the fun part of going to cinema, I think. And I think just restricting everything down to like this mass producing, let's just turn our brain off and watch something for 2 hours. That can be a nice escapism from the real world. But I don't think
Yeah,
everything needs to be that. Um,
yeah. Like make shit artsy. Go all out.
yeah, absolutely,
That
absolutely.
Yeah, that's the kind of mindset I like to see more often. Just people just going fun. You know what? Let's make this the most dramatic fucking thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much talent in these, right? There's so much talent in people who are in like graphic design and visual special effects and writing scripts and doing stunt work and all the work that goes into it. And I think letting people have that autonomy to really just show what they're capable of and work outside their comfort zone, outside their box. Um, that's really fun. That's really cool. And so well, why bury and hide people's creative talents under the same old aesthetic every single time?
Uh, Sometimes just sticking to what works isn't always gonna help.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Even if it ain't broke, you can add to it a little bit.
Fuck!
Ah!
but
Great input,
yeah,
Shelby, as always.
yeah, I
We're
don't know.
really happy here, buddy.
But I mean, as Shelby, as someone who is not super into superhero films, and well, I guess not. I should say someone who hasn't read a lot of the comics, and it's more of the general audience perspective. I guess like what is your kind of perspective on this era we live in, where we're getting a bunch of superhero movies every single year, and sometimes they can feel the same. Sometimes, as we just kind of talked about, sometimes they feel like it's just kind of the same movie over and over again. Like, have you felt any superhero fatigue at all, or are you? I don't know. Like, any comments on that?
I feel like I'm definitely getting like superhero fatigue because I'm kind of getting tired of like. I feel like just personally to me, that movies are kind of getting more repetitive, and not just like superhero movies, but like a lot of movies have been like that lately.
Oh yeah.
Just very repetitive, and it just kind of gets annoying after a while. I personally like prefer to watch older shows, like things from our childhood or when I was in high school or anything like that compared to now, because there's just nothing that really stands out to me that I'm super interested in. Unless it's like an anime, and that's really it. And sometimes even anime, I have that feeling like some shows are just the same or just similar to other shows, and it's just kind of like sucks to have that mindset. I wish, like, in my opinion, that it like would be better, but for someone else it could be the total opposite. That's just my perspective of it.
Yeah, I totally get that. And like, I think that was one of the main problems I had with Black Adam. I remember watching this, and even when it was fun, because I was saying this about Black Adam, like it's not a perfect film at all. I got a lot of problems with it, but I mean it is a fun film, right? Like it has its moments where it actually is, a fun superhero movie. But like, I think I was sitting there and I was like, there was never really a moment in that movie where I felt surprised, right? Because it felt like I'd seen this before, right? Like I know the story beats. I know what's gonna happen. I know I've seen this before over and over again because I felt like I've seen this movie over and over again because I have. Because we've gotten to a point, I think, with superhero films, and as you mentioned, superhero films overall, where like we're just kind of we're hitting the same story beats, we're using the same type of humor, we're going through the motions. And I felt the same way about Thor: Love and Thunder too. It felt like at this point, like this didn't add anything new to the superhero genre or to the movies. It's just more of the same thing, but done in a worse way, right?
Yeah, because I didn't get to go see. I didn't see that movie because I just wasn't interested in it. I thought it was just going to be repetitive, and that's what everyone was telling me. It's like, oh, it's like just repetitive, or it wasn't as good as Ragnarok, Thor's Ragnarok, and all that. It's just things have been repetitive for me, and so I kind of just lose interest quite quickly with certain shows and movies, especially newer stuff. Like for the show Wednesday on Netflix, I love the Addams Family, but I tried to watch it, and I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it just reminds me too much of like TV shows I've already seen. Like just certain tropes and comical jokes, just too similar, and it just doesn't really stand out to me.
Yeah,
That's how
I get that.
The first episode, it's like it felt much of the same of like the usual streaming exclusive shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've seen Wednesday, and I personally I was personally quite a fan of it. So I might recommend watching a couple more episodes. But I totally get that. I mean, it definitely Nevermore felt kind of like your standard kind of Hogwarts-esque institution, kind of Percy Jackson, Hogwarts, Harry Potter style storyline. So yeah, it definitely hits a lot of the same beats. And it's interesting that you mentioned Thor Ragnarok because I remember Blaze remembers this. When I first watched Thor Ragnarok, everyone loved it, right?
Yeah.
And I remember talking with Blaze about it, and I wasn't a big fan of this movie at first. And I remember Blaze. You could probably talk about this too. Correct me if I'm wrong. You weren't a big fan of it either at first. Like it was a movie we were kind of like, it was a fun movie, but it felt like, I felt like the humor was kind of out of place. It felt very jarring compared to a lot of the previous tones of the movies. I had a lot of problems with it. Right? A lot of the problems that I had with Thor Love and Thunder, I had problems with Ragnarok. Of just kind of like the tone and the humor just didn't fit with the narrative they were trying to tell, right?
Yeah.
But in retrospect, it's weird. Watching Thor: Love and Thunder has made me have a greater appreciation for Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
And
Yep.
just because, yes, it wasn't a perfect film. Yes, the humor doesn't always hit, but it tried to be different, right?
Yeah.
Like Taika Waititi tried to do something different. He wasn't just being like, let's just do another Marvel movie. Like he actually tried to go outside of the standard formula. And so in retrospect, now I'm like, I don't know if you feel the same way, Blaze, but now I'm just kind of like, yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good movie. I felt like, weirdly enough, it feels like Taika Waititi learned all the wrong lessons from Thor Ragnarok, because he was like, I think that movie was super successful because it was different, because it stood out. People were like, oh, this is new, this is creative, this is fresh, and so Marvel was like, just do that again, like just do Thor Ragnarok again, but times 10. And he's like, okay, that's what we'll do. But like that feels like that goes against the thing that people liked about Thor Ragnarok, was that it was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like. Hmm?
Like, I was gonna say was like, when it comes to like superhero movies specifically, maybe from Marvel, the movies I kind of look forward to are like the literal Avengers movies where they're like all together, or Deadpool is one I always really like, and because me and my dad, we love Deadpool. I got my dad into Deadpool, and he just loves it. Whenever it comes on TV, he has to watch it. He loves Weasel. He keeps forgetting his name. The guy T.J. Miller plays, Weasel, his best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad always forgets his name, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Weasel, and he's like, well, yeah, Weasel's my favorite. Yeah, but I usually get hyped off of those movies when it comes to like superhero movies, because I don't hate like Iron Man and Captain America and all of them. I don't hate them or anything. I just, for some reason, I'm just not that interested. I don't know why. Like, I think I'm more for like comical characters than I am for like serious tone stuff. Because that's something I've kind of realized about myself when it comes to media. I like nostalgic things. I like things that are funny, and I like things that have action but also horror. Like, not to be afraid to be gory or anything like that in a show. And sometimes, like, Marvel doesn't really have that because, yeah, they're trying to appeal to, like, an adult audience, but they want it to be to where kids could possibly watch it. And so it's just like, oh, well, I'm not that interested. But Deadpool, broke that, and it's like PG-13 movie, I think, right?
It's R.
Rated R. So, like, the reason why I like Deadpool is because they didn't give a shit, and it was funny, and, like, had its gory moments and all that. It wasn't afraid to, like, break that wall, So, that's probably just me. I mean, I understand everyone doesn't like the same things.
Yeah, I pretty much love all the different types of superhero movies, like whether it's like the R-rated ones or the Marvel ones, or the really weird ones in the middle, the weird Marvel movies, and then
So Ant-Man?
Yeah, I love him. Fucking love him. But yeah,
he's good.
yeah, and I love just how like R-rated movies have their own like, I don't know. I think just because it's R-rated that all the R-rated superhero movies are just a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just they don't have I feel like they just don't have that much restriction,
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not trying to appeal to multiple audiences. It's like adults,
Yeah, and I think that is one of the big restraints on Marvel, isn't it? Right, because the goal is to appeal to the widest audience possible. Right?
Yeah.
They want to appeal to as many people as they want, and the best way to do that really is to be as generic as you can be, but also as inoffensive as you can be. As you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to isolate anyone, and so, though I think the worry that like if they do allow themselves to experiment or not hold back or try new things, is not a guarantee that they're going to that they're going to appeal to everybody, right?
Yeah.
I think that I don't think you have to appeal to everybody, right? I think you can release a film like Ant-Man, that is going to be, yeah, that's I think I look at the trailer, I think it looks fun, I think it looks cool, but I mean I think it's just gonna be kind of you one of the superhero movie that appeals, kind of family friendly superhero movie that appeals to everybody. But you can also release something like I don't know, like Werewolf by Night or Deadpool, right? Something
Mhm.
that that's going to appeal to a certain type of audience. It's not going to appeal to everybody, but I think that's how you do end up reaching the widest possible audience by having a little bit of something for everybody. And that's why I like the DCU slate so far, is because
Yeah.
I think a lot of these projects seem like they're going to be rated R. I mean, it looks like Swamp Thing will probably be rated R. Paradise Lost will probably rated R. You know, a lot of these look like they're going to be rated R films, which is cool. I like that. I think that's awesome. I think it's cool that they're expanding out that way. Whereas stuff like
Yeah.
Blue Beetle or Superman, that's probably going to be more rated PG-13, more of your
Yeah.
standard superhero story. So yeah, I think I don't think you have to. I think when you try to make movies that appeal for everybody, and that's all your movies, I think you end up actually robbing yourself of any actual like good, enriching or interesting storytelling, because it's stifling. Because you can't go too far, you can't deviate too far from your standard formula, because then you're losing everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think that is why, for me, the the Marvel properties in Phase Four that I have most been attracted to have been things like something like She-Hulk was like, yeah, it's not perfect, it's got its flaws, but like She-Hulk, it tried to be different, it tried to do new things, and it it knew what it was, right? It knew what it was
Yeah.
trying to be. It had its own identity. It had its own image. It was going to be a superhero kind of slice of life sitcom, and Marvel was like, all right, we haven't really done anything like this before, so let's try to branch out here. Or something like Loki. Loki was really cool. I liked it because I thought Loki
Oh yeah.
was
Oh
also
yeah.
really creative and new.
I will
Um,
admit, I
yeah,
did watch Loki and I did watch WandaVision, and I did like
Nice.
those.
hmm yeah, I
Baked.
think they're cool.
Yeah. I still love when He Who Remains shows up and he's like, "Saw dudes."
What?
Yeah.
Honestly, hardest villain interest. Like it was good. It was really good. I look
Yeah.
back on that, and
Best
he's
picture.
goofy, but he's so intimidating.
Oh yeah. Like his last words were "See you soon." I was like, "You sly fuckers." Just like that, he was
Yeah,
like, "See you."
yeah, yeah. For sure.
Which is why
Yeah,
I'm so hyped for the
I
game.
definitely agree with Shelby. I think my my favorite taste of a movie is one that kind of dips its toes in all different types of things. Where you got the humor, but you also are not afraid to dip into some more mature topics. And I think more mature rated films can sometimes allow you to um, have more creativity with your storytelling, as opposed to just kind of general family friendly movies that can be fun, that can be exciting, but again are very limiting on the type of stories they have to tell. Um, so
Yeah, boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
This was a pretty good discussion, I think.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, well, anything else on our minds we want to hit while we're here?
No more Black Adam.
No more Black
Mm.
Adam. I know, honestly, every time I think about how I sat through that movie for nothing, it makes me mad.
No. I was like, I wanted to see more of The Rock's titties in live action in 4K.
Those pecs, man, those
I
pecs.
know. the Peck Papa love.
Mm.
Yeah, but never gonna happen. I got blue balled out of Shazam versus Black Adam, so
That was
after
never
this,
gonna happen, man.
nothing matters, man. I think this should be a good place to end off, maybe.
I agree. I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
The
Well,
show is
thank
already
you
set.
so much for listening, everybody.
I'm coughing
Um,
blood.
yeah. Thank you
Thanks,
to
everyone,
all
for
our
listening.
listeners. We appreciate you coming in for our first podcast. Had a bit of a rough start with the recording issues, but I think it went really well. Albie, do you wanna do we have any social media links to drop or
Not
yet?
so far. All we have
Okay.
is YouTube. That's it.
Okay. Well, for now we
Link
have our
is
YouTube
good.
channel. Aspirations on YouTube. Find us there, and yeah.
Batista bombed that button.
What?
Yes. Smack that like button.
smash that like
Oh,
button.
you cut off for a second, so I didn't understand what you
Oh.
said.
Wait, I said Batista bombed that like button.
Oh, okay.
Bob that like button.
Make sure to chug that button if you know what I mean.
Body slammed the like
Number
button.
150 Raid Royale, yeah, Fortnite, we about to get down.
Oh dear God.
Get down.
Well,
This is how we're ending off.
Okay.
all right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye!
Bye.
Bye, everybody.